Now, I'm not that familiar with how you started in the business, but did you grow up thinking, I want to be a famous Playboy playmate, or what? How did you get started in this?
You know what? I never wanted to act, and I never wanted to be a model. Someone discovered me when I was 15 years old, and believe it or not, I started off doing Captain Kangaroo. And how I went from Captain Kangaroo to Playboy to Andy Sedaris films, I don't know, but...
How did you go into Playboy the first time?
A gentleman by the name of David Wilder brought me in. They were looking for the 30th anniversary girl. I was literally walking on Sunset Boulevard, and he brought me in.
And just started taking pictures of you?
More or less.
And
I walked in, they gave me a robe, they said, take your robe off, and there I was.
Oh, well, is that a really great layout, those pictures of you, I mean, the first time you were in Playboy?
Now, what do you think I'm going to answer?
Well, I mean...
No, they were terrible. No, they were good. I was young. I think I wish I would have waited.
But then you've been in there many times, haven't you, since then?
The playmate that'll never die. You know, I've been around 10 years now. So.
And when you say you wish you'd waited, you mean you think you got much better as you got older?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, we do too.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, then you were discovered by the movies, by Andy Sedaris, who recruits a lot of his actresses from Playboy.
Right.
And how did Andy find you?
I was shooting a video for Playboy called the Playmate Playoffs, which is, you know, girls in, well, it's almost like an Andy film. Girls wearing hardly anything, doing athletic
Playing
things.
a lot of volleyball.
Right.
Okay.
You got it. Were you there?
I've seen the show.
Right.
You know, I occasionally see those. I happen to come across them on the dial.
There you go. Anyway, Andy happened to have been there that day, and he came up to me in one of his, you know, Hollywood director's voice and said, would you like to be an actress? And I kind of shrugged him off. I mean, you've seen Andy. I mean, he's short, he's bald, he's heavy, he talks very funny, kind of out the side of his mouth.
And he's very rich.
Yeah, and he asked me, and so I went in and I read, and that was the beginning of the series of 7.
You always play an undercover federal agent who runs around Hawaii in cutoffs a lot. Well, you like to jump in the hot tub quite a bit.
Right.
And you always blow up at least one helicopter.
Right.
And does that kind of sum it up?
Right.
That's it?
Yeah, you know, it's, you know, I play Agent Donna Hamilton, and, you know, she's rough and tough, and she has her string of men, and she always gets the bad guy at the end, and, you know, she carries a bazooka and wears a push-up bra, and, you know, she does the part.
Is it fun?
It is fun. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work. He's a tough director to work for.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll tell him that.
Yeah, he knows that.
Okay.
What does it all mean, Andy?
It's art, and we do that because we do it because we A, want to make the rent, and B, there's new generations of people watching our films, and when we can present people like Cynthia, hey, you know, we're on top of everything.
So how long does it take you to write one of those scripts?
4 days. And that's,
you're not kidding, are you?
No, but I think about it for, you know, up to 2 weeks. And then I write them, and then Arlene reads them, and she rewrites them. And she puts stuff in there like plot, story.
Yeah.
You know, that's out.
Tax.
Yeah.
But how many days does she work on them?
She works a couple of weeks on them. But then I go right back to doing what I want to do, because once we're on the location, you know, I just say, please, please, that was very good stuff. We do want to understand this picture, but why, really? Because we're just mashing right ahead. Our pictures, they are a little complex. In fact, Donna Spear calls us every week and asks us still, what was the plot of Picasso Trigger? That was done 6 years ago.
And she was the star of it.
She was the star, and we say, Donna, well, you know...
Pay attention.
Wait for the book.
Take notes.
Well, you know, wait for the comic book.
Do you understand them, Cynthia?
Absolutely.
Cindy's real smart.
It's because I'm, yeah, I understand.
Yeah, no, she does.
Well, you know, by about the 6th one, you start catching on.
Okay. Well, in these scripts,
similar.
Andy, you get all those elements that you need for those foreign sales, right?
Yes.
You got the big, healthy, naked, blonde American girls.
Right.
Like Cynthia here. Really kind of redhead.
Strawberry.
Reddish blonde.
Strawberry.
Strawberry blonde, okay.
Yep.
Big, hunky bodybuilder types with bazookas.
Yes.
Exploding helicopters, exploding jeeps, exploding motorcycles. Everything filmed in either Hawaii, Las Vegas, or Dallas. Now, why is that? Why always those same 3 places?
Well, we go to those 3 places because we can get away with it there, and that's basically what we do. We
get away with what?
Just get away with. We're very nice people when we're on location, but we do disrupt a little bit, you know, disrupt. I mean, like
It's
they're
like
in Molokai.
camp.
Yeah, I mean,
Blowing
they're-
stuff up.
yeah, we're in Molokai. Those people are over there. They're laid back, and all of a sudden, here's an incredible 4,000-pound explosion, and it upsets them a little bit. But we then just send Cindy over or Julie Strain, and they sign autographs, and the local natives are right back under our wing, and we're very happy about that.
Okay, well, if you put all those elements together,
Yes.
and you've got lines around the block in Pakistan, Abu Dhabi,
Lebanon,
Nigeria,
Beirut, yeah.
and most horrifying of all, Paris.
Yes, they
Where
like us.
there's actually something called the Cinema du Sidaris.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
the hell is that, Andy?
I don't know. You know, they may be calling me names, and I can't read that stuff. I don't understand it, because I can speak a little Spanish, I speak a little Mormon. That's about it. Some Greek. But they may be saying bad things about us. Nobody's figured it out.
Okay. Cynthia, what kind of direction does Andy give you on the set? Does he just say stuff like move that bra strap a little to the left?
No,
or
no.
what does he actually say when you're
Great,
working?
tender, sensitive direction. You
That's
know,
right.
just what you'd expect from.
Right. From some of the great directors, yeah, like.
I mean, the love scenes, for example. It's more like, okay, flip her over. Now grab the thing with your right hand. Your right hand. You're right. Go right. Go right. And
That's okay.
I kind of wish I had him along on dates. I mean, it takes all the guesswork
And
out
I've
of that.
learned from
up and-
interviewing actresses that work for you, Andy, to call them love scenes. Because one time I made the mistake of calling them sex scenes.
Oh, no, no. Well,
Which is what you say to me. And
Yeah,
they say,
but
no, these are love scenes.
That's locker room talk, Joe Bob. We're talking now in front of an audience here. They're love scenes, and we try to control all that. You know, it is a little difficult to sit there and say, put your hand at that position so the camera can see it. And
Kissy, kissy is a big
kissy, and not have
direction.
them
Get
react to you
a
and
lot.
say, "I've done that." You know, you want to see that again? You know, Cindy's not like that. She's been very good about.
So if you say put your hands there, she puts her hands there.
She's a real pro, and she can sing and dance and shoot, and she also in this picture does a very funny thing when a guy says "cover me." She does a funny little shtick in there. So this is a hell of a film.
Okay.
Fit to Kill, my God! I mean, it'll bring.
I
it'll
want
make
to
a
do
grown man
more
cry.
comedy. I want to do more comedy in your
Right.
films. It's just very difficult getting them to laugh when I'm on the set. They always laugh after I leave.
That's not true. We laugh at her on the set.
Well, listen, Cynthia, I want to talk to you a little more after this is over. But right now, I want everybody to get ready for the final installment, or what used to be the final installment in the series about bikini-clad undercover federal agents that began with Malibu Express
Right.
and continued with Hard Ticket to Hawaii, Picasso Trigger, Savage Beach, Guns,
Do or die.
Do or Die,
And now,
Hard Hunted,
Fit to Kill.
and now Fit to Kill, starring Beach Bunny spies Donna Spear and Roberta Vasquez, Ava Cadell and her Cadells
Right.
as the nude disc jockey, Sandra Wilde as her hot tubbing assistant, and Cynthia here as the topless lounge singer.
Yes, she is a top.
You're also a crack undercover agent, aren't you,
yeah.
Cynthia?
Well, you can see that. Just look at her. What would you call? I mean, if you saw her in the street, when you say,
I would say I want to be undercover.
"There's an undercover agent,"
And-
forget it.
oh no.
For the second week in a row, we have R.J. Moore, son of Roger Moore,
Yes.
as the villain,
And Tony Peck's a good guy this time too. He's,
and Tony Peck, son of Gregory Peck.
Right.
16 dead bodies, 28 breasts, bikini ninja in this movie.
Yes.
4 shootouts, 1 motor vehicle chase, exploding dune buggy, exploding bamboo, exploding yacht,
yes,
kung fu,
yes.
bimbo fu.
I could have said it
that
better
about
myself.
sum it up?
Yeah, I could have said it better myself. I swear, it was really beautiful the way you put that. I mean,
Okay. There is something exciting about women shooting machine guns, right?
Yes.
It's much sexier somehow than men shooting machine guns, isn't it?
well, you've got, first of all, physically things bounce, and I go for that. You know, and I think I think the audience likes that. So you know, you do what you can.
So that's the secret of it, huh?
You bet.
Okay, well, anyhow, tonight we have one of these beautiful women with us.
Yes.
So can I introduce her, Andy? Because we're kind of done with you. I've been talking to you all month.
I know that.
And
It's
she's
my
not,
third week.
she's not even in this movie.
No, but she was. I just thought, as a visionary, I thought if we can get this young lady on this show, I think it'll help your ratings. And I'm doing this is sort of a
well,
personal thing I'm doing for you.
also, she's in another movie
Oh, yes.
that Andy wants to promote. It goes into video stores this week called The Dallas Connection.
It's a wonderful picture, and
starring tonight's special guest, the February 1993 Penthouse pet, Julie Smith.
oh, let's
Hi
hear it
there,
for
Julie.
Hi. How are you?
Have a seat.
All right.
Now,
Ergo guns. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, like
Okay.
guns. Yeah, this is part of your formula.
It is.
In this movie, The Dallas Connection, Julie, you play one of the standard Sidaris heroines. You know.
Standard?
Well, no, I don't,
we
mean,
all have
I don't mean your
guns. We
standard,
all
but
have
I mean
guns, but yeah.
there's a certain type of character that Andy puts in his movies, and you're a federal undercover agent who wears a lot of tight sweaters and gets in the hot tub quite a bit. That be accurate?
It's pretty much accurate, yeah.
And
I have shorter hair, and I think I smile a little bit more. I'm kind of devious, but I'm the standard character, yes.
okay, now Andy,
Yes.
you're known for using centerfold models almost exclusively
Yes.
as the stars of your movies. But there's a lot of centerfold models. How do you choose which centerfold model you're going to hire? Like, how did you choose Julie here? Or let me ask Julie. Let me ask Julie. How did you hear about this job, and how did this work out for you?
Well, we're all familiar with the infamous Julie Strain, correct? She's one of my
Julie
best
Strain
friends.
was the 1993 Penthouse
Pet
Pet
of
of
the
the
Year.
Year.
Yes,
She's been
yes.
in several of Andy's
Several of our
movies.
pictures.
Yes.
Been in about 50 other pictures. She's been a guest on this show.
She's one of my best friends, and she said, Julie, I can't believe I never thought of you, but I'll tell you what, I've got this guy that's dying to meet you, and he's going to make you a star, you and your guns.
You mean
What do
that's
think?
all it takes? Somebody has to tell you there's a guy dying to meet
That's
you?
it. Yeah. Well, the
Have a
guns.
business card and you're
anybody
dying
that
to
wants
meet
to
you.
see my guns, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I do collect. I didn't
This is-
used to, but I do now.
We're not talking Rhodes Scholars here. We're talking a whole other area of entertainment. You know, this lady came up, showed us her stuff, and the fact that she could talk.
Now, what
and
does
she
that
could
mean,
talk.
And I
Andy?
ran around the tennis court.
She ran around the
I
tennis
am a
court.
good-
She came to your house?
Yes, and Arlene was there, and we all sat there, and we looked at her.
Arlene,
Made
your
me
wife
grilled
was
cheese
there.
Arlene,
sandwich
my
with
wife, was there.
tomatoes.
Why do you want to say that?
Well, why do I want to say that Arlene was there? Because if I don't, you know, I'm in a lot of trouble. I mean, I never see these girls alone and see their stuff. We check them out thoroughly, just like you would do. Yeah, like you do it with a horse. You do it, you know, with a chicken. If you were buying chickens, you'd look at that chicken.
With your
And
wife.
so they
Right.
come over to your house
Right.
and you talk to them for a few minutes.
That's right.
And you say, you're in the movie.
Well, not quite. We want to see your.
You gotta
We
do-
want to
there's
see the
three things
entire
you gotta
unit.
do.
Yeah, the unit. We want to see the. First, they got to run. She runs. She bounced great. You got to know how to
jiggling.
shoot.
Yeah.
She had never shot a gun before, so
Never.
we had to train her on that.
Yeah.
Thirdly, we got to see the entire unit. You know, you never know whether there's scars. There's.
Yeah.
You never know, and what they've been through. And psychologically, I think it's good for them to know that they have
And
to.
so
be
you're
in it.
telling me Julie has no scars?
Julie has no scars as far as the human eye can see, but I've never.
Okay.
Good answer.
We'd like to put her under a microscope.
Now, I mentioned, speaking of hot tub scenes, which I mentioned a while ago, and by the way, there's always a hot tub scene in a Sidaris flick. That's part of your formula, right?
Well, they think better in the hot tubs. You got to remember.
None of them have been like mine.
Yeah, they don't.
Okay.
You know that.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
I was going to mention that. You
Yeah.
have quite a jacuzzi scene in the Dallas
Yes,
Connection.
yes.
Now, was that hard for you to do? Because it didn't really look that hard for you to do.
I have a thing about water, and it really unfolds my inner sexuality. So when he said your sex scene is in water, I said, God, there's nothing more perfect.
I couldn't have said it any better.
One take.
So you didn't have any problem with
Not
that?
at all.
No, she's.
Now, you have a lot of experience in this kind of stuff.
Which
you were,
kind of stuff?
Well, in being nude in public.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, you danced in Vegas, you were a showgirl, and you starred in several Penthouse videos, including one called Ready to Ride.
Ready to ride.
Sounds
There's four
good.
more out
I
now,
didn't
but
see
yeah.
it, but you're featured in numerous Penthouse Forum magazines. Now, how does that work? Isn't that where guys write
Guys
letters
write
about their
in
sexual
sexual
experiences,
letters.
saying, you won't believe what these two girls did to me, or something? Do you, like, reenact the letter, or what?
Well, sometimes they like it if we do that. Absolutely. They kind of just put the appropriate photos with the appropriate article, and that's kind of how it's done.
I'm gonna subscribe to that thing myself.
You
should
haven't
be
seen
reading
that.
those.
Yeah, I should be
Arlene
reading
reads them.
Okay.
I know.
Do you know Kung Fu, Julie?
A little.
Yeah.
Aikido.
Really?
You
I
didn't
would
even
love
ask me about
to-
my gun collection.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to get into the guns and stuff, right?
It's my
Yeah.
newest edition, you know.
Yeah.
Are
I
we
mean,
still
I
going?
can't believe that you almost passed this up. New guns, right here. I was really
do we want to
afraid
do
of
another
guns.
segment with that? Am I screwing you up here?
No, that's
Okay.
fine. What do you
I
got
think-
to say, Andy?
well, I just think that if we're talking about big guns,
Yeah.
then I think you have to understand that Julie has learned how to shoot a gun in this picture,
I was really afraid of them at
and
first.
she had talk about the horse, Julie.
I fell off this horse that they made me ride. It threw me off.
Yeah.
And I went from being really frantic and scared to saying, you know what, screw it. Let's do that gun scene right now.
Yeah. And,
And
she
ever
did it-
since then, here I am.
and she's had
Gun power.
You bet.
Well, that's plenty for me.